up, everybody? Welcome to another week of It's a Man's World podcast. This is D. Hayes.
Crystal was here.
And same OG.
We back, y'all. How's everybody's week?
Good. Shout out Kim for hooking me up with the fly-ass ear gear.
Oh, yeah, you got your Angela Davis today.
I know,
yeah.
look.
It looks good.
Look it up, too, okay? Some of y'all here struggling to put on the headphones. What I did.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right.
Here we go.
And hit that we went.
Right. Now, but everybody, y'all having a good week so far?
Yeah.
Or did you have a good weekend, I should say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weekend was cool.
Ain't today the first day of fall?
Today?
It's
Don't
today the
feel
first
like
day of fall?
Well, it is a little.
It's a
little
20-something.
cloudy.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just waiting to rain.
Right.
I don't
But
know.
I am ready for a little fall break, though. I am.
I just saw a lot of people posting like goodbye summer 2019. Yeah, today is the last day. Today's the
I
first
feel
day
it's
of
like
fall.
the ending of August, September, you know what I mean? Like, the trees are starting to change and stuff like that. It's still
But it's
hot
still
as hell.
hot.
It is still hot, but, I mean, when you get to throw your boots on now.
I feel like it's like storm weather. Because I know in
Yeah,
Houston,
it
like,
is.
it's been flooding like
know.
crazy.
It's been looking
man.
like it was gonna rain here the past couple of days.
Yeah,
it
but it
hasn't.
didn't.
Yeah, but
And
it,
that
like it was
is
thundering
something-
this after. Did you hear the thunder tonight?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And
so-
Houston is crazy right now. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, literally, my family wasn't at work like pretty much all last week
Mm.
because of the flooding and stuff.
And it gets bad like that every year. It gets
And
bad like that every
we
year,
didn't
but
really
it's
hear
pretty
about it
much
till
it.
like it wasn't really publicized that much. By the time I heard about it, it had been happening. I saw people like marking themselves safe on
Right.
Facebook. I'm like, what
Yeah.
you talking about? So I got
Right.
on the news and looked.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely storm season, but, you know, prayers that
Now prayers out to the people in Houston. They've
just
been
even
through a
people,
lot.
even just people are being just inconvenienced. That's crazy.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people I think don't realize. Like I think a lot of people think that when it's like the tropical storms and like hurricanes and sometimes like a lot of times the flooding is the biggest issue. You know what I mean? Like the
No,
flooding,
that is the
flooding
biggest issue.
And it's a
flood-
major
So
issue.
even
Yeah.
with it out being like it wasn't on TV like Hurricane Harvey was, but this is a big deal that it's flooding
Oh,
out there
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if they literally like, it was schools, like kids getting like trapped in their schools from flooding.
See, yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
that
I mean,
water
when do
ain't no
y'all
joke.
call a day, y'all? Like, what the fuck? Y'all
Yeah,
like, when you
seriously.
go, okay, I think we need to leave.
no, they
Right.
definitely. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some backlash and like somebody gonna get suspended or something because
It needs to happen.
it was like the whole district. Like
Yeah.
it was like a whole district where they kept school and literally elementary kids was like stranded.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
that's
do that.
crazy.
Yeah,
Like the
uh-uh.
parents couldn't really even get to the kids because it was flooding.
And I know it was some mama and father that was swimming through that shit. Like, fuck
Right.
this. You
But
know,
it is hard to call or know, especially what water is gonna do.
Right.
It's just
Right.
such a force, and it can be so little or so much, and it's so quick, is what it is. What
Yeah.
the problem is. But no, that's horrible.
Prayers to the people of Houston, man. We love y'all out there. Okay, we're going to move over into shooting the shit. Today on the shooting the shit, we're
Send
talking
some
about, this week there was like a clip
I'm
that
all
hit
right.
the internet from, I think it was from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and it's Corey Gamble and Kourtney Kardashian
Being the only
and,
nigga at the
and
table.
Scott
Right.
disagreeing about something, And so at
Y'all
one
showed
point...
us real quick, okay? Y'all just fuck with us, cause
Right.
clearly,
Y'all
barely.
don't fuck with our shit. 'cause,
Barely.
But no, basically, like, Corey Gamble has said that if, like, Penelope or if a kid, like, scratch him in the face, he whoop their ass. You know what I mean? He's like, I whoop her ass, And Scott and Courtney like, oh, no. I can, like, they was, like, real mad.
And
Scott was cussing and shit.
yeah.
What the fuck you mean? You gonna,
Right.
you gonna whoop my daughter's ass? And Chris
Right.
Jenner just sitting there like, man, my Percocet ain't kicked in yet.
Right.
They're just trying to
And
enjoy my
Scott old
goddamn
drunk
dinner.
ass, okay, but you can do a little line
Kim didn't really
next to
say
him.
shit neither.
Right.
So I wonder if
And let me tell you something. Well, never mind. Scott and Kourtney, all their kids white. But I was trying to say, let me tell you, y'all ain't over there popping none of them kids. I guarantee they grandmamas is, not Chris.
Shit.
But all the rest of these niggas,
No, wait.
Tokyo Tony over there
Oh,
whooping some
okay.
Oh,
ass.
she definitely whooping some ass. She going OD with the ass
she
whooping.
going OD, okay.
So you
Okay,
better do it well on this check.
So the question today is, how do you
They
feel
other
about
grannies, they meemaws might not be doing it.
this
The
with other
granny
people's
over there,
kids?
big mama over there whooping ass.
Can you do it?
Shit.
Can you discipline other people's kids? Or how do you feel about disciplining other people's kids?
I think it depends on who the kids are. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, if I'm close to the parent, then yeah. But if I wouldn't like discipline somebody's kid off the street.
Okay, so when we started talking about this, you said you use like us an example. Okay?
Yeah.
So like when your child is staying with me, and just so you know, I whoops ass.
I expect that my kid acted up that y'all getting on that ass.
But do you want me to whoop them or get on that ass? Is it a verbal ass whooping or if you take
Either
the belt
way,
to them?
whatever you feel is
you ain't
necessary.
gonna feel no way about it.
If they got to get popped.
Of course we're gonna tell you what happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel no type of way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel no type of way if y'all with my kid.
No, me either. Because I know that little nigga need ass whooping.
Yeah.
Right.
And you ain't just gonna do it like you made your Uncle G whoop you. What the fuck is you over there doing?
Right.
This nigga don't get mad about shit.
That's the thing, because you already know if your kids stand with they uncle or they aunt, like, you gonna be more chilled than the parent.
Did y'all's grannies whoop y'all?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And my granny didn't whoop us. She didn't. I mean, like, I can remember getting a whooping from my granny and being just, like, so hurt. Just like, I can't believe she done pulled this belt on us.
My grandmother and my aunt used to watch me. They was both quick to bring that fly swatter out.
Oh,
and
the
let us
fly
have
swatter,
it.
them got a lot of them whoopings.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And honestly, I really haven't been whooped by anybody outside of my parents. I haven't, but my parents, it was on my ass so hard. I mean, I was like, and anybody else tag in shit.
Tag your man. Right, tag your man. They over there doing a double dutch on that ass whooping. Yeah.
Get these niggas off my ass. Damn. I mean, so couldn't nobody else get a leg in. But that is, I think that with other people, now what I definitely, and I feel like I got this gift from my mom too, I will find myself like in stores. Of course, I'm not going to whoop nobody's kids, but if I see some kids getting in stuff, especially if I see something that'll keep them unsafe and there ain't no parent to be around, I will throw a little correction at a kid in public too.
Yeah.
Like, and it ain't going to be nothing that is, I mean, first of all, the parent ain't around. I guess it don't matter what the hell you say to him.
Right.
But you know what I mean? But I hit him with all right, y'all better be careful there, little buddy.
You better shut the fuck up. Listen, no,
I'm taking that belt off.
I was thinking about how, like, when I would go out, like, to the, like, my mom used to like to shop, and my dad worked during the days almost every day, really, you know what I mean? And so my mom used to like to go shop, so we would go to the mall, and my mom would, you know, go up to niggas that got a do-rag on and be sagging. She'd be like, pull your pants up, baby, and stop saying nigga, okay? Don't say nigga, baby. We have come too far.
We have come too far.
Don't do that. Pull your pants up. Now, thank God, didn't nobody jump flop my mama. All the niggas pulled their pants up and was like, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Right. But no, I always do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
so a quick correction.
Because that really can go 50-50 though.
Because they just come from a time when the village was like, you know, if you out there grown, you got some sense, then if my kid doing something out of line, you know, tell them.
But then it always be that one nigga that's just most ignorant in the room is like, don't say nothing to my fucking
shit to
child,
me.
okay? Don't say nothing to me or my child. Don't even look at my child. If something goes on, you come and see me, okay? And so it's just, what is, you know, I mean, and I'm not saying just anybody. Like, y'all, not everybody I would want putting my hands on my child, but at the same time, I need it to be very known that I'm putting my hands on my child.
Right.
Okay.
I think it's
so
also.
I think that's part of it too. Cause like if you dealing with a kid that you know they parent like don't play that shit.
Right.
Not so tell you gonna be like, listen, you know when your mama come pick you up, I'm gonna tell her what you been doing.
And they'll chill out.
And they'll chill.
And even
you know what I'm saying? So you really shouldn't even have to get to that point if you know they parents like don't play that shit.
And I was thinking to myself, like, it's one thing, like I mean, I'm just saying, like if one of y'all had to whoop my kids or somebody that I was close to wanted to whoop one of my kids, I would expect there was a few pops. Like, I wouldn't expect you to go to town on that ass like I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you'll find your mama in that ass.
Right, like, you can whoop their ass, but you ain't got to dig in their ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Dig in their ass like I'm
let
gonna
me
get
dig in their ass. You can, but I feel like, you know, a couple pops is fine. But if you come and, you know, whoever you left them with is sweating with the belt still in their hand and your child over there like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
child scared to come out the room.
Mama, Daddy, that's y'all. Okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of issue with that. If she got PTSD, he or she got PTSD.
You're doing a lot. You got to make that report.
Yeah.
Because this the thing. If you got to whoop somebody else's kid, it's for the action. It's not for all the back shit they done did.
Right, yeah.
You know
you whoop your kids for the back shit.
Yeah, you whoop your kids for all the shit you let
it
slide for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not going to lie, like, it's like whooping done got such a bad connotation, regardless of how you feel about it. It's just you can't, you know, right now we settings, we amongst family, but you just can't say whooping somebody's ass the way they used to. You know, poor Corey, he didn't mean that. Kardashians, all the black niggas y'all done trapped. Y'all don't know what that nigga talking about by now.
He
like, y'all know what he talking about.
And Scott told me, you mean you gonna beat my daughter?
You
like,
say you're gonna beat her?
Yeah, he didn't say he was gonna beat her.
No.
He said he was gonna whoop her ass. And listen, at the end of the day, but I feel like Corey really found out in that moment. And then he knew.
He fucked up.
Right, because, bruh.
I mean, not over there popping people, but I'm saying like the way that my parents whooped is that it worked. You know what I mean? Like I act like I didn't. If I act like I didn't have no sense, it was definitely at the house. It wasn't outside embarrassing the damn family, and that's because I knew I would get my ass whooped at the house. You see how everything wrapped back around to it?
Yeah.
Everything wrapped back around to the fear of the ass whooping. Now I don't know when I got that first pop. And I got more after that pop, obviously. You know, you learn as you go. Right. But at the same time, it wasn't no time that I felt like reporting my parents. I might have been mad at them, but they wasn't just beating the black off me like that.
You know what? I think I want to listen.
They was smudging the brown.
I never did. I never did ever, of course, because I'm alive. I never did call anybody on my parents. But I remember talking to my friends at school. I remember talking to my friends at school that just so happened to be white, and them talking about the shit they would do and not get whooped. And I'm like, something ain't right with this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
and you didn't like it either. You wasn't like, ooh, I wish I could do that. But like, something ain't right.
Yeah,
but
it just felt just because I was like, how am I getting in so much trouble for this? So there were times I'm like, am I being abused? Now looking back on it, nigga was not abused in any way.
I definitely feel like I knew some different type of crazy parents. Like my daddy was definitely crazy with he was gonna come with that work. Like he wasn't sparing it. But my daddy wasn't the type to come to the school and whoop my ass. Right. Like I definitely had friends like everybody at the football game. Mama come up in the stands just with the belt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So your parents wasn't trying to humiliate
you. They weren't trying to do that.
You know what? That's what parents do. Got to work that third shift. She didn't give a fuck. She was like,
she came up there. I
gotta go to work, nigga. Yeah.
And even that, you see why that makes somebody want to. Like, you tired, okay? Like, you finna make me do this on that. We finna give you a run for your money, because I ain't got time to be taking off work no more, nigga.
Right.
I got whooped to school one time. And the next day, the counselor was like, is everything okay at home?
Like, shut your ass up, okay? You tried to help me when she was on my ass. Okay?
Right. Why you let her do this shit?
Right. Am I okay? Nigga, are you?
Right.
You ain't do no when you jumped on me in Craig's backyard.
I'm not going to tell her we had this conversation because she'll beat your ass too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look upside my head funny.
Okay. You got something?
So we whooping the kids, right?
Yeah, we all agree with At least in this circle now, it really does depend on how close you are to the person.
I mean, and at the end of the day, I ain't just keeping nobody's kids. I ain't really just want to whoop other people's kids anyway, but I'm not keeping your kids if I can't say nothing to them.
Yeah, I'm not keeping nobody kids that I'm not close with in general.
Right. Yeah. And every kid that I'm close to, I talked to him right in front of him. Like I said, everybody, like my sorority sister, my real sister have kids. Like, I'm finna say everything I need to say right on in front of you, because you ain't finna sit up here and irritate shit out of me and ask for a favor.
Right.
You better be trying to get in my good graces. I'm talking about the child. Okay? Right.
All right, y'all. It's time to shoot the shit with our listeners. If you would like us to read your letter on the show, you can email IAMW Podcast at gmail.com, and we will read your letter on the show. This first letter today comes from Camille, and it just says pet peeve. Camille said, my husband is so damn cheap, y'all. He's one of those people that questions every cent of tax when we go out to eat and ask how much everything in all caps costs, no matter what. This man has a great job, and he acts like we're in the poorhouse. I went to the store earlier today and spent $20. He asked for the receipts and then said, so are you going to give me my 80 cents and change? I know this is a juvenile complaint, but it drives me crazy. To the guys, do you think this behavior is reasonable? Crystal, would this annoy you? Thank you. And it's from Camille.
Yes.
So your husband real cheap. Your husband real cheap.
Where my 80 cents?
The 80 cents was petty. Yeah, that was petty.
Listen, I need that 80.
Okay.
No.
My personal experience with cheap men, I mean, it's annoying, but they are really good with money. And, I mean, I could be better, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's annoying, but I say that, yeah, I mean, I think that it's better for you to look at, like, your husband is trying to make decisions. I mean, you know, maybe a good decision for your family. And at the end of the day, I mean, girl, if you go out and treat yourself to a little something every now and again, I mean, he might be a little upset, but he ain't gonna leave you. So just do what you got to do while he doing what he got to do. I mean, you know y'all got it. You know what I mean? Like, you just know you're gonna have to hear his mouth about it. And obviously, it don't sound like you just too out of control
Sometimes
either.
you do got to take calculated risk.
Yeah, you do. You do. And I'm not saying just try to go behind his back or whatever, but it don't sound like you just trying to. It sounds like you're annoyed with him being cheap. Obviously, you're not selfish enough to be out there just, you know, overspending or anything like that. But that is 80 motherfucking cents with your petty ass here. Okay.
And now I think there's a couple things. One, the first thing is it also depends on the person's background. Some people feel like a lot of people should, but some people feel like I worked too hard to get what I got, and maybe I didn't necessarily always have the things that I have now because of my hard work. So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna live like this. You know what I mean? That's one thing. And the second thing also, I mean, I know you wouldn't put this in there about yourself, but I mean, if you coming home with a random Barker lounger, you know what I'm saying? Like you come home with a love seat, you ain't said shit. Or a plasma flat screen. Not that you have to explain yourself, but if that's something y'all are talking about, and maybe that's why he just I don't know. I'm adding to the story, but maybe that's why he being cheap with her.
But I think it just depends on like how cheap you want to be. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm definitely not like spend money on anything.
Right.
But if it's something that I want, I'm not gonna be cheap.
You're not
with
gonna
it.
be cheap.
Yeah.
About it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
So
everybody
I
doesn't
think,
have that
like,
mentality either.
Yeah, but I'm definitely not gonna be like, oh, we want to go out to eat. We going somewhere cheap, unless
Right.
it's like a special occasion.
Yeah, if
And
you
I
going
would
to eat,
say-
you
You know
gotta
what
go
I'm
out to
saying?
eat. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, well, I need my 10 cents back.
Yeah,
like,
that's-
you know,
yeah,
that's
that's petty, yeah.
that's why I think you start crossing the line of being like too much.
And sometimes, like you said, even just like the way maybe that you've even grown up. Like, I mean, I would say like my parents. I don't know how much money they make. Judging from what I see other people that do the same jobs as them, I feel like they're doing all right. You know what I mean?
All right.
But sometimes, yeah, and that's just an old school mentality too. Like, you're not gonna buy up a whole bunch of shit that you just don't need. You're not gonna
Right.
buy up a whole bunch of shit just to keep up with the Joneses or
Right.
to look like it's something as long as your family is taken care of. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even the stuff that we had, I could never say that I wanted for anything, but definitely once I started getting old enough to know the value of a dollar, my parents had us work for it. And it's
Right.
not like you were going out getting a job, but yeah, you're going to help out around the house. You're going to be making sure that you do your parts. If you don't do your part, then you don't make the money you want to be able to get the little things that you want. So they were teaching that that exchange when they could have not done anything. They could just
Right.
give me. I mean, if I ask my dad for $20, he'll give it to me. You know what I mean? But then I gotta, I might have to do something else. Sometimes I might. Sometimes I might not. But it just wasn't always like, oh, you can just go, I need $300. You can't Hillary Banks it.
Right.
Dad, I need $300. Okay,
Right.
it
Yeah.
just wasn't. So it was still, I mean, we got a job. We got money, nigga. You ain't got
Yeah.
shit. You living up in our shit.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's a big part of it too, like just your background. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like if you come from nothing and then you get, like she said, he got a good job. Some people when they ain't got nothing, they want to spend everything they get because
Yeah.
they just like shit. I can finally buy whatever I want.
Right.
But other people like I'm not going back.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
facts, yeah.
exactly.
So it just kind of depends on that too.
For sure.
Yeah, so I think it's okay. I mean, I think it's okay for you to be a little annoyed by it, and I also think it's okay that he's doing it, actually.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I kind of agree with what you said, Krista. Like if all he gonna do is just nag you about it, that's the worst
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
And I'm
Sometimes
right.
it's worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and I'm
You know
not
what I'm
saying
saying?
be frivolous, and it doesn't. This by the tone of her letter, it doesn't sound like she's like that. But if you see something, girl, you see a little $20 pair of shoes, get your shoes, girl.
Right.
Okay, and
Throw
keep the 80
then
cents.
throw away that receipt.
Right. I don't have it on me.
Yeah, he
Get
gonna be
to
mad,
it.
but he ain't gonna.
And he ain't gonna be that mad.
And he gonna be mad for the night.
Right.
In the morning, I feel like if
Okay,
you gotta
if he's
do
still
something,
mad,
No.
then you
If
really
gonna
that's
be-
a different
If
story.
he gonna be over it by in the morning, it's fine.
No,
Yeah.
and that's what I think. He gonna be as irritated as you was when he asked for that 80 cents. So
Right.
if he can handle it, you can handle a little
Right.
bit too. It's got to be give and take.
All right, Camille, let us know how
That's
that goes
cute, though.
with it. Yeah,
and I do think
that's
he's
a good
just
little
trying to do what's best for
problem.
y'all's family.
No, that's definitely
cool.
true.
That's cool.
All right, our next letter today comes from Marsha, and Marsha. Okay,
Marsha.
yeah, and the title just says neighbors. She says, Marsha says, hello, everyone. So I have some neighbors upstairs that I thought were in an abusive relationship because of all the banging around that I hear daily.
Get it, girl.
I have recently found out that the loud noises was their sex language. These two have all kinds of wild sex, really loud, and they really disturb me. After work really early in the morning, she said 4 a.m., and they keep me up. They keep me up at least 4 to 5 times a week. I know you all had a letter about this much earlier on, but this person is not in the apartment with me. They're in the apartment above me, and I don't know them well at all. Would you say something to your neighbors about this? I like to get it in too, but I try to be respectful of my downstairs neighbors because I know what it feels like to be pulled from the thralls of sleep by some endless banging and shaking upstairs. Thank you all.
He thought they were in an abusive relationship.
They got some furniture movie going on there.
Yeah. So Marsha's question is, would you say something to your neighbors about this, or what would you say? Yeah, would you say something to your neighbors about this? They up there clucking and fucking.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I would just deal with it, or I would probably just move. Like, I don't ever want to come in between somebody's sex life. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, niggas can't just. But let's just say something. Niggas can't just move. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, her lease gonna be up at some point.
Yeah, nigga. But if you ain't got no sleep for a year,
but what he's saying is, if you can't get over it, then that might be at the extreme you have to take. And even when I say, like, I mean, with apartment living, I've had somebody report me for music before, like one time. And I just ignored it and continued to play my music because it's at the end of the day, when you're in apartment living, that is the sacrifice that you are making. You know what I mean? You don't know the people,
right.
And so how well is it really gonna go? You going up and really being like, y'all are having sex too loud. You can do it, but they know they're having sex loud, and they're gonna keep doing it, and it might get worse for you. And the way I see it, like
they might be holding back.
Right,
you know
right. But the way I see it too, like,
yeah.
like I hear my neighbors sometimes. I hear my neighbors' music sometimes. I hear my neighbors having sex sometimes. I hear kids and babies crying sometimes. So I feel like in the morning, yeah, it might be 6 a.m., but y'all finna hear this little 30 minutes of Anita Bacon, Tony Braxton, and I'll be at work in a few minutes, okay?
Right,
so I just feel like the noise is still give and take. I mean, 3 or 4 times a week, You might have to get yourself some earplugs, girl. You might have to put on some meditation music in your ear so when you know it's Wednesday night and when you know it's Wet Wednesdays and Teddy Tuesdays. Taco Tuesdays, bitch.
Eat the taco on Tuesday.
Eat taco on Tuesday.
Taco on Tuesday.
Thigh slapping Thursdays. I mean, they got a lot of themes,
Throw it back
but
Thursday.
throw it back
Throw it back
Thursday.
That's better.
I mean, whatever you like.
Hard fucking Friday.
Oh, okay, first of all,
Too far.
it's too
What,
straight.
too dirty.
Shit on these balls. Okay, so, and I mean, obviously the speech is very violent too, so girl, you might just have to combat them, okay? When they start going at it, go on, put a little rip in there, put on a little Marilyn Manson to it.
Match 'em.
Really, jam out to
But
them.
listen, just have your,
mean,
nigga,
really.
have your nigga on hand, and then when
Put on
you
a
hear them
little
going, like,
bluegrass.
y'all have a little fuck off.
Right.
And see who
Competition.
really not getting it.
No, get you some bluegrass going. Wait till they get that rhythm going. Yeah, you see how they like
Okay,
that?
that's all you got. Let me go turn on some Pavarotti. And up there just fucking.
A little mariachi, get a little trumpet to him. I mean, girl, we just giving you tips. So like I said, I ain't never knocked on nobody's door, but you're not gonna come complaining. And I mean, and it's all, I realize these are natural things, but you're not gonna come here complaining when I'm taking my 4 o'clock nap in the afternoon and you come home screaming at your children because they won't walk up the stairs. Pick that nigga up and get him in the house.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this nigga is laid out on the ground throwing a fit, and niggas is taking naps in here.
Right.
So guess what? When 6:30 comes, I'm sorry they're not up yet, but I need my music to get ready in the morning, and it'll be
Right.
off in 30 minutes.
And that's it.
And that's it. It's got to be
So
give
you
and
wouldn't
take.
say anything to your neighbor about
No,
the
I
fucking
wouldn't.
no.
But like I
Would
said,
you?
I also
No, I wouldn't say
have
nothing.
I
And-
also have an exchange that I feel like could maybe bother people, but as long as people leave me alone about it, you in an apartment.
Right.
When you pay for a house, that's
don't-
one of the reasons you
yeah,
pay
you don't
for a
have to
house.
deal with
Right.
that.
You were
Or I mean, they have some apartments that's nice enough to where, like, you know what I'm saying?
You're not
you
hearing nothing
yeah,
or
you don't
whatnot.
hear the people next to you or above you or whatever.
If you can't shake it at all, though, I would definitely say go talk to them before you talk to the. Don't put in a noise complaint at the office.
No,
Don't do that.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
I
If
mean,
it
I
get,
just
if it get
think-
that bad, you just gone up there and.
Even if, like, either way it go, bro, if you say something to the management, to, you know, you make a police report or whatever, they still gonna do it.
No, they're still gonna do it
They
because the
still
thing
gonna
is,
do it.
And
unless
they
you're
gonna give you the
unless
side
you're
eye when they
planning
see
on
you.
right, unless you're planning on going up there several times, which you're starting a conflict, and even if they do it, like they still have to be caught doing it. So the apartment complex ain't ever probably gonna catch them doing it.
Right.
You have to go make several complaints, or a bunch of other people have to make complaints. Otherwise, you just look like somebody annoying. They can say something about it, but the police ain't finna come out because somebody's having sex too loud. The
Right.
police are not gonna. The time of hours it is, the apartment's not gonna catch them doing it or
Right.
catch them making the noise. So it's your
Right.
word against theirs. They can be like, oh, she just tripping. You know, we're not doing that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just
Yeah,
no
like,
point
So
in
they see
starting.
that. So they see that bed frame imprints on that
Right.
wood grain.
Right,
Like,
right.
oh no,
I
nigga.
think it's best to
And
just
you
move.
replacing these walls.
And this shit is nasty.
Right.
I think it's better for her to just move. That's what I
Okay,
say.
yeah.
Okay, G,
But
everybody-
she's gonna have to get over it. In
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
meantime.
either get over it or move.
Or
Like, that's
move.
your only option.
Yeah, she gonna have to get over it.
Because
in the
saying
meantime.
something, like, I think it may make it worse. Because just imagine, like, you just getting it in like you like to get it in, and
Right.
somebody like, y'all too loud, you gonna be like, well, fuck you, I
And
can
then
be louder.
Right,
Yeah.
and at
Like-
the end of the day, it's just too close quarters still. You know what I mean? I've been
Yeah.
thinking about, like, if somebody took the side of an apartment, it's just like how close you really are to your neighbor, okay?
Yeah,
like,
you
you
really
can throw-
right there.
if
Y'all
the wall
really
in
live
there- right,
together.
Y'all
Right.
really live together. It's just too close quarters to be starting trouble. It's just like the dorms or something like that. Like, you gonna see that nigga in the parking lot. You
Right.
go on this, that, and the other. If you complain once or go ask them, and then they get an office complaint, they gonna know it's you.
Right.
It's just, it ain't even worth it, girl. Just go and let them have a little libido.
Right.
All right.
A little libido, baby, because it's strong if they're able to drink, eating a ginseng.
Listen, they getting to it.
All right, Marshall. Well, yeah.
Sour good.
Yeah. I don't know if there's
Right.
anything you
I
can do
don't know
about
what to
this.
say.
So, but if there is anything, send us an update and fill us in. We'd like to, and tell us what some of the stuff that they're trying.
Right. What they saying? Y'all love to say they say. Y'all love to say they saying crazy phrases. We don't ever get to hear it.
Marcia.
There you go, Jan. Yeah. All right, Marshall.
Oh, that
Girl.
was funny.
Okay. Once again, if you'd like us to read your letters on the show, please email IAMW Podcast at gmail.com. And we're going to move over into our next segment, which is What's Poppin'. What's Poppin'?
Hey,
What's Poppin'?
Hey.
What's Poppin'?
hey,
What you got, Chris?
hey,
What you got, G?
hey.
What's poppin'? Hey.
Hey, well, that's what you
I
got.
think it was lit. Chris, what you got?
I didn't have nothing.
Nothing. All right. All right, y'all. Let's open up this week and talk about what's been all over the damn internet, and that is Tekashi 6ix9ine. This nigga's got a new CD
Lord.
coming out called Songbird. where he will be
just snitching on
just
everybody.
snitching on everybody. Yeah, I think it already dropped actually last week. But no, yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine threw everybody under the bus. I think like he named like the head of the 9 Trey Bloods, like the head of the organization. Okay, he didn't name drop Cardi B, Jim Jones.
And now they're just making up shit.
Trippie Red,
like
Casanova,
Chief Key. I mean, he just
I
told.
like Casanova.
He put everybody
he put
out
everybody
there.
business out there.
Do y'all think this is like the worst situation of snitching in hip hop history?
Definitely.
What's another one?
I don't know if anybody.
I'm
else
sure there
is
is.
just
I'm sure there
like-
are a couple, but Lil Kim went to jail for not snitching.
Yeah, but I don't know no other
Martha
artists that just
Stewart.
like known
Martha
for,
Stewart
like,
went to jail for not snitching.
She did. Martha Stewart went to jail for
You
not
know what I'm
snitching.
saying? Like nobody else has been just like I'm pretty sure people snitch all the time.
Yeah.
But nobody with his level of notoriety just been
Right.
like, shit, I'm out here like fuck it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. So I mean, we talked about this kind of last week about him living with the
Yeah.
informers. I mean, I knew we had talked about him kind of saying some stuff. I didn't know he was gonna do this.
yeah, he wasn't holding nothing back.
This nigga, it ain't safe for him no more, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think he gonna have
Why
to.
would he?
When he get out, he gonna have to leave the country
He gonna have to go immediately from the police station to the
To
airport.
the country.
Yeah.
to
Going
another
to.
country. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it need to be like a real not country where nobody going.
Yeah.
And you need to shave your head. And you
Yeah.
need to work concealer every day.
Well, what I think he gonna do, he gonna leave the country and he gonna still do music and people will listen to it, but he's not gonna be able to perform. Like, at least, definitely not here.
You mean you think he's gonna release the music?
Yeah.
And people are still gonna listen?
I think the people who listened to him before, the majority of his audience is kids.
Yeah.
He does have, yeah.
Shit, kids don't like snitches either.
Now
They shouldn't.
Well, Tekashi, man.
Yeah,
ooh.
tattletelling ain't a thing no more. You're not allowed to snitch
No.
anywhere, even in freaking pre-K.
I saw a tweet and it was basically saying like it's never okay to snitch, not just because it's like I guess like gang culture or whatever. Like the police don't snitch on each other.
Right,
Like
right.
government officials don't snitch on
Right.
each other. Like
Hence why we're here, where we are right
nobody
now.
ever snitches on each other. Like even my parents when we was younger, they made sure we wouldn't snitch on each other.
No, they
like if
really
I got in
did.
trouble, my sisters got in trouble too.
Exactly.
So if we
And-
did something bad, we was like shit. We
And
ain't
that's
saying
the,
nothing.
And that's the thing. It's
Like-
snitching because he was involved in almost everything that he
Right.
mentioned. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, it's one thing if like, let's just say Tekashi was taking a rap for some shit that he just didn't have nothing to do with. Let's say he had zero to do with it, right?
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't look upside his head being like, listen, I'm not saying who did do shit, but I'm saying I didn't. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right,
if
and
you're
the-
doing something to save yourself in that way, but
And the problem is didn't they say he just talking about people? He just woke up talking. He just talking about people that don't even got nothing to do. They ain't even asking him about.
Cardi
yeah.
B. They
Cardi
said,
B, Jim Jones, they didn't ask him nothing about them.
They said this nigga told him he would be ready to give them whatever they wanted as far as information after one day.
After the first night
After
in
the
jail.
first night in jail.
What were they doing to him?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure they didn't do much.
It was almost just like processing, ain't it? Shit.
I mean, I know he got a
don't know.
lawyer. His lawyer probably told him his best to just snitch.
I mean, I'm sure, but he gonna learn soon.
Okay, but lawyers say that to everybody. They do. They tell you just go ahead and just say you a crackhead.
Cause
say
they
you
ain't
don't
right.
know
Cause
what's
they
going on.
shut down. But
Right.
they not the ones that got to. I mean, they're representing the person that's snitching. So you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
of course
it's
they
gonna
gonna
be-
tell you to.
He definitely got to get out of
But I
America.
feel like
Prayers
that's
up
the,
to you, bro,
Yeah, I
'cause-
feel like that's the way for them to not have to be in court forever. So like figure something out. Let's do this.
Yeah,
and
but you
then-
could just take a plea deal and be like, I'll take whatever sentence or whatever.
But you have to say you're guilty, right?
Yeah, he's saying he guilty still.
I know, but what are they gonna? I mean, is he even about to get anything out of this by telling everybody he's still going to jail, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Supposedly he getting time off for I guess is the amount
Okay,
of
but
information
you're
he
still
give, but he's still going to jail.
And why do you want to get out?
Yeah, you actually better
I
know
don't
you
know.
got 3 square. I mean, only thing I guess he got a young kid, so I'm sure he wants to see her. And he lost his dad. So his dad got murdered. If not right in front of him, he got there right after his dad was murdered when he was a kid. I think it was like 13 or 14. And so his mama is all he got as far as parents go, and then he got his
Okay, at
baby
this
girl.
point though,
so.
are you not concerned with their safety though?
They gonna
you're
have to put
doing
them
a
in witness
lot.
protection also,
Right.
if they not already in it.
It would have been better for him to not snitch. That's all I know.
Or at least keep it in a box. Like at the end of the day, when
Yeah,
this
you
whole
did too
story,
much, Brandon.
yeah, when this whole story started, we didn't know exactly who he was talking about. The people that were afraid, I guess, were people that knew he had information, but just like, how did this Pandora's box get open?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Pandora.
because he don't really want no friends.
Right.
All right, we're gonna move over into our
I
next.
do what I want.
Right. our next story.
I do what I want.
Okay, so this is like a really cool headline actually. The Department of Homeland Security officially adds white supremacy to the list of domestic terrorism threats. All right.
yeah.
So following the years of hate crimes, hate speech, and overall harmful actions, the Department of Homeland Security has finally made a move. that people have been waiting for. Adding white supremacy to the list of domestic terrorism threats is the first time since the Department of Homeland Security was created following the 9/11 attacks. So Acting Secretary of the Department, Homeland Security, Kevin McAleenan, emphasized that the influx of mass shootings around the country played a large part in the decision. So, yeah, white supremacy is now an act of domestic terrorism, which we already knew that.
Right.
That's what we said about Dylan Roof when we heard about what happened in San Emmanuel. Was that this is terrorism.
Right.
But it looks like the government is finally recognizing that also.
Well, that's a step in the right direction.
And it does suck because I'm not saying that it's new, but it's something new that we're recognizing, and it's and it has to be recognized because it's happening so much. You can't act like it's nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, you remember D. Hayes? We were talking to my little cousin about that the other day, just about hate speech in general. You know what I mean? Like even. I mean, people of color just using derogatory terms and stuff like that. Just, I mean, this is before we even heard about this. Just talking about, like, this is a time where you just don't get to say whatever you want to because anybody can say, if somebody can say what you're saying is a hate speech, then you are threatening yourself to have some legal action taken towards you. You know what I mean? Because they don't know where that hate is now building into things that are going to harm masses. Yeah. So they have to. So it's a huge red flag. And so it's just like even in these altercations where it's so easy for somebody to call you a derogatory name. Mainly it's towards us or brown people. You know what I mean? But even to lash back out and say that other stuff, like it's in the same breath. You know what I mean? It's just in the same breath. It's hate speech. They get in a lot of trouble nowadays for popping off and saying something like that. If they were to pop off and say something like you, so you just don't want to contribute to it because.
And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's certain things that you can say to somebody where if you just haul off and hit them, it's okay.
Yeah, at this point. Okay.
Like, so you got to be careful about what you out here just telling people.
Yeah, like, because you just don't know people's reactions.
You don't know it. Yeah, you can't tell people how to react to the shit you're telling them.
I really do agree with that. You really can't do that.
Yeah, but this is definitely a major issue. It is. I mean, you don't want to say that it used to be us, but it's sad because it is shifting into you seeing like, I mean, a regular middle-aged white dude in cargo shorts and a freaking rain jacket, and you like, hell no, nigga, it's time to leave the fucking mall.
Go.
Fuck that. Okay, like where's this nigga? Right, this nigga ain't got no bags, he ain't got no family.
Right.
Like hell no,
nigga. Don't say shit to him.
Right.
Don't say shit.
I'm
Just
not even
leave.
looking over there like, no, I'm about to make a beeline about this bitch. I'm sorry.
That's facts.
So I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but maybe if they feel like they're recognizing it, then they won't feel like they're.
Well,
so
I think the thing that's starting to happen is, it's not just us that's scared of that now.
You're right.
You know, so I think it's more widely accepted that this is what it looks like in the grand scheme of things. Like it's not just like a couple instances.
And it's sad that it's taken all these years. I mean, we're looking at. I mean, we just came off the anniversary of 9/11 where that's the first time something mass like that has happened. And since then, it's been nothing but white terrorists that have done these mass things. Like, that's what's scary is they're taking out these whole groups. And the only other time we've seen that is really with 9/11. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, other than that, it's just like, yeah, that shit is freaking scary.
I remember just that. I remember, like, I mean, first of all, clearly, all of them are terrible. But I remember, like, hearing about, the one that happened in Vegas, where the dude killed all those people at that festival, and then the one that happened in Orlando at that nightclub, Pulse nightclub. And I was thinking, like, these people are, I mean, and I guess you always are, but those ones, the numbers were so high of fatalities, because we hear about mass shootings so much that it's always like troublesome, and it's always like discouraging to like see those things because it's terrible. But like it was so many people that were involved in that. So definitely 9/11 definitely changed like the.
And the thing about the mass terrorists like that is even like Oklahoma City bombing, he didn't expect that to be that big of a thing.
Yeah, because before September 11th, that was probably the biggest one that was really just
And when but I'm saying like even when he went into the church, you know what I mean? A long time ago with the 4 little girls, those are just the people there. When it's a bomb, it's who's ever there. It's whoever happens to be there.
Right.
You know, you're planning, you know, whatever you feel like you're planning, but you don't have an idea in your head that I just want to kill these 4 little girls. No, when you're planning something like that, you balls to the walls. Whoever gets it gets it.
Right.
It's the truth.
No, it's true. So shout out to Homeland Security for making that move, and hopefully we can do something to stop.
Yeah, we have to work on these gun laws now. That's what it comes down to. I mean, you know, and I'm from a gun family. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're Texans. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you don't need a gun that can take out 500 people in 10 seconds. You don't need a gun like that. You don't.
Excessive.
You don't need a gun like that to protect your home. You don't need a gun like that to protect your family. Even if you collect guns and you have a gun like that, at the end of the day, easily being able to get that gun is not necessary. It's not
Right.
necessary.
And
Even if it's a year process that they put you through background checks, they make you go through training, then they
Right.
give you the gun. If that's how extensive it is, that needs to be so you can still get it and still people feel like they have that right. But
Right.
nobody needs a gun like that.
Right.
And I think that like people that are just like so dead set on like not having the conversation. Like there's some people just like fuck away from me with all that. Like I don't even want to talk about
Right.
not having my guns. But it's not only is it I think it's time out for that. Like we got to stop doing that shit. But that's so disrespectful to people that have been directly affected by these acts of hate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I mean it's just the conversations need to happen. So people got to get off they.
And it has to be stop being so broad. It
it
has
ha-
to
yeah,
get specific.
it has to
Like, we're
be
not talking
specific,
about you
right.
coming in and popping off because you got 9 rounds. Like we know enough violence can happen that way, but we talking about these assault that
Right.
people are doing these acts of
Right.
terror. with.
Right. Like you got military grade weapons in your house for
what?
what? You know
what,
I mean?
bro?
Yeah,
And even
like,
the guy who had him in Vegas, he had more. Like, how many guns did he have out
Oh,
there?
he
You
had
have
more.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
you
didn't
have
even-
2 hands. You have he had rounds and rounds and rounds. He had enough for an army to use. He can't even use all that with his hand. He can't even.
Right.
He can't even operate all that. Why
Right.
is it necessary? Why does he have all that stuff?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move over into something a little bit more encouraging, and that is last night at the 71st Emmy Awards, Jerome won an Emmy for When They See Us and his portrayal of Corey Wise.
Yeah.
So I mean, shout out to him for that. What'd you say was the first?
I think he was the first Afro-Latino to win in that category. I don't know the category, but he was the first person to win in
And
that.
he was the one on there, the oldest one, right? That was on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
definitely did a.
Bro, he embodied that
No,
role.
and
like,
I think that was you that I was talking about. Like I have like a really bad habit of like watching these documentaries, especially if they say they're true. And now that we like when like the OJ trial came out or
Right,
whatever, it
right,
was,
yeah.
like I was literally stopping and looking up on the internet. I'm like, I
Right.
wanted to see him do this in the courtroom. No way
Right.
this nigga did this shit.
It
He
was
did
for
all
lead-
of it.
It was for lead
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And that right there, he I mean, and I did the same thing. You can watch all those tapes. You can watch all those interviews they put that boy in. That one where he's in that striped shirt.
Yeah.
You can look that interview up right now. It's a fucking hour and a half, okay? Which is, you know what I mean? That goes to show like they're going round and around asking these questions.
Right.
They beat the boy up in the back. That boy did an amazing job
Yes.
in that role.
Yes.
He did. He just did an amazing job. Even seeing him regularly outside the role, you're like, dang, that nigga is not like that at all.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's
Like literally,
when
he
you're
did
jarred
so
like
good.
that,
When he got up to do his acceptance speech, I was expecting him to have like that same like speech
Right.
or whatever, but he didn't. I'm just like, it's weird.
Right, and his role, like you said, was the thing in the movie. Like it's weird to say because like the show starts off so fucked up that you're like, it's not that things eventually do get better, but everything's kind of downhill from there
Right.
because they give you like just the whole fucked up foundation of it. But then it's just like it goes back to his story alone. It's like they tell what's going on with other boys,
Right.
then it goes back to his story and what he went through alone, and you like, oh my
Damn.
god, like
You
that
wasn't even
shit
supposed
is,
to be here, bro.
Oh my goodness.
But not even supposed
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah, I mean, and how that was portrayed was very, very important, and he did an amazing job.
Yeah, he did amazing. I'm so happy that he won.
Me too.
Like, yeah.
Well, shout out to.
And again, that's an old
Jharrel
story, you know
Jerome.
what I mean? Like, this is
Right.
somebody that's brought this back to life, so people could blow it off and just be like, okay, you know, it's just another story about that. But it's amazing that we're in this time again, unfortunately,
Right.
you know what I mean, where this
It's
is
still relevant.
Right, and him seeing that obviously moved enough people to be like, dang, this
Right.
is, this is something that people need to know about. And
Facts.
congratulations for sure.
Yeah, congratulations to Jharrel Jerome. Okay, y'all. So last but not least, we're going to talk about everybody's been, just rushing out of their homes to go to Six Flags because Six Flags is reportedly paying couples $600 to lie in a coffin for 30 hours. All right.
What?
So Fright Fest is one of the spookiest events thrown to commemorate Halloween, and Six Flags definitely does not disappoint. As part of an annual tradition, the theme park is continuing to ask customers to try scary challenges. This year, you get to bring your bae. According to Fox 29 Philly, as part of its 30-hour couples coffin challenge, Six Flags is offering couples $600 to spend 30 hours in a coffin. This is the first year of the challenges that has been extended to couples. Significant others, however, are only allowed to accompany you in the coffin during park operating hours, and after the park closes, contestants will have to face the challenge alone.
Okay, so how long is the park open? 12 hours a day?
Less than
What
that.
the-
Yeah, probably about
Wait,
12. Yeah.
You want somebody to sit in a coffin for over a day?
Lay in coffin for 30 hours.
For $600.
Yeah.
Not $1,000.
$600.
They only got 600 to give. Divvy up.
Hell no.
That's $20 an hour.
Yeah.
It's $20
No.
an
Fuck
hour.
that.
No fucking way.
I wouldn't be able to stay in one for 1 hour. I really
And-
wouldn't.
And not out of
Do you
fear. I'm
get
just
to
a
eat and stuff or
busybody.
what?
I'm sure they gotta feed you now. They can't kill
Why?
you.
You talking you ain't gonna die?
You're not gonna die, but you're gonna
30
wish you
hours?
would after 30 hours.
Why you use the restroom?
Probably got a little pen or a bedpan to it.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit for no $600.
Cause if they not, I'm guessing you can't get up, and I don't really understand. I think it's kind of a stupid challenge because that means you got to pay somebody just to sit there and watch and see if they do. Like that's just a waste of money.
Especially if you only win $600. That's what I'm stuck on.
Win, earn.
Right. So what if everybody completes it? Do you have to stay the longest to get the $600?
Nah,
It's like
I think
whoever
you get
completes it.
$600 if you stay.
That's why it's so low.
Well, I guess
If it
people
was like
might
whoever
really
can stay
do
the
it.
longest, they'll probably give you like 10 racks.
I mean, it's not even scary. It's hard to lay there like that. For
I know a
30
coffin
hours.
not that big.
No.
Yeah.
Like you can't really move.
Maybe we get in there and take you a Zanny.
No, somebody need to get in that hole and start having a seat or like start panic attack or
Bring a little
something.
wine.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
well,
that's what's gonna
This
happen.
sounds like the ingredients of something that's gonna go terribly wrong,
It
y'all. So
does.
good luck, Six
Exactly.
Flags. If you
Hope they
listen
got
to
their
this show,
liabilities together.
please don't do it. Don't sign a non-disclosure and don't sign the waiver. That
I mean, do they lock it? Can you just pop out anytime you want to?
Now
What
they
is
can't
You gotta
close
be
it.
able
Now
to
they
pop out.
they can't close it now.
No, it's probably closed, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
not locked.
closed. What's
So
the
then
point
why
of
would
being
anybody? They don't even need to know if somebody's in it. That's stupid.
No,
got
it's
to
it's
close it.
closed.
How
bro.
they gonna close it if your significant other is with you?
They just
Y'all
guess
both in there.
You can't breathe like that.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, I
It
don't
gotta
know.
be
I ain't never
big
been in
enough.
a
They ain't gonna
coffin.
seal it.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be sealed, but
It's
it's
probably
gonna be closed.
Yeah, it's probably
not
some-
gonna be locked
It's
though.
probably some little cheap ass wooden coffin. Now they ain't giving you the nice ones at the Golden
Nah.
Gate with the linen lining.
It ain't gonna be comfortable.
It's probably like a Dracula coffin.
Yeah, wooden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or and that's probably plastic.
And especially if they having to whip them up too. They
You
don't
know,
know how many
that hoe
couples gonna
probably
show up. That shit
plastic.
is cheap. Nigga, they can give you a nice gold one, nigga, with some good velvet
Give you
lining.
some plush.
They-
You know what I'm saying?
They really
Well,
sent
they
him off
probably-
in style.
Right, they probably putting a cot in that hoe.
Not
Yeah.
even that.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
Hell
No. Yeah.
no,
No. Yeah.
not
that's
for
a no.
600.
All right, y'all. That is all for
How
what's
much?
popping.
Shit, at least like 5,000. I think about it.
I was about to say 6,000.
Yeah. Go in the sixes because I
I
mean,
can't even pay rent with $600.
nah, you
No,
can't.
you
So
can't.
$6,000.
Send my own damn coffin
Shit.
at the house.
All right, y'all. So that is all for what's popping, and we're gonna move over into our next segment where we recognize a very lovely lady, and that is our dime of the week.
I'm looking for a dime. That's top of the line. Cute face, slim waist with a big behind. I need a dime. That's top of the line. Cute face, slim waist with a big behind. You want this money, then you gotta be a man.
Y'all, this week our dime of the week is the very beautiful, the very lovely Miss Jorja Smith.
Yeah.
For those of y'all that don't know Jorja Smith, she
Look it up
is
right now.
right. Yeah, look
You will
her
be
up.
impressed.
She can definitely sing.
She can definitely
Yeah.
sing. She got a little Rihanna vibe.
She does.
She's like 22 years old. She's from the UK, and her album Lost and Found came out last year. One of her albums came out last year. I think it was rumored that she used to date Drake.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, she used to
Yeah,
date.
did she? Don't she model too a little bit?
She's
If I'm not
definitely
mistaken?
beautiful.
She kind of looks like
She looked like Lisa Bonet
Lisa
and Zoe
Bonet and
Kravitz's
Zoe
baby.
Kravitz.
Yeah, she
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, she's
she
doing some
look
Nike
good.
ads.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
nice. Yeah, that's pretty. She's got a cool body. She got like a nice athletic body too.
yeah, she look good.
No, she really does. And like
Very easy on the eyes.
I saw a couple like live, like some clips of her singing live, and she sounds really good. She got a cool
Yeah.
little style and a little swag
She
to her.
does, and she fits the time for sure. You know what I mean? Like it's like I and it's so crazy because it seems like it's just about exposure. Like you have like your scissors, you know what I mean? That'll
Yeah.
come and that people have said they've heard about them forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
People have been on their underground tip forever. So I imagine that has to be the same way with her because
Yeah.
she don't look nervous.
No, she
Yeah.
doesn't. And she was nominated for Best New Artist last year
Oh yeah.
at the Grammys. You know, she's
That's
won
dope.
some Brit Awards. Her debut album Lost and Found debuted at number 3 on the charts in the UK. So she making
she
waves.
got some.
Yeah.
She got a little steam.
like
Yeah,
her.
I just got put on her just here recently. So,
Yeah.
but I definitely agree she deserves to be a Dime of the Week. 'Cause
Yeah, she definitely looks the part.
She does. Damn, she really do look like Zoe Kravitz
does.
and Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, she like their little long lost sister or daughter or
She
somebody.
might have checked. All right.
Yeah, no, she's beautiful
No.
for sure, and you should check her out right now. Like she's some good riding music. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for sure.
I look forward to seeing a lot from her.
Yeah. So shout out to Jorja Smith. You are our beautiful Dime of the Week for the week. And now we're going to move over into our next segment, which is our number one favorite game, and that is One's Gotta Go.
One's gotta go.
This week on One's Gotta Go, y'all, we are talking about some creepy crawlers, all right? Now, one of these creepy crawlers must go, which means you cannot deal with it, and the other two are ones that you probably wouldn't want to, but if you had to, could deal with better than that one that has to go. All right?
Better than that one.
Yeah, because I mean, all
You gotta
of
go,
them
but you gotta leave.
ain't none of them good.
None of them good.
Yeah, none of them are good. But anyway, one of these 3 creepy crawlers had to go, okay? We have roaches, we have spiders, and we have mosquitoes. One of these got to go. Roaches, spiders, and mosquitoes.
Right. Immediately start itching. Okay.
I know, right?
Cause, ew.
This is tough.
You don't be embarrassed if folks come over your house and be like, "Ooh, that nigga got spiders." I mean, not as embarrassed as you would if they came over and was like, "Ooh, you got roaches." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's true, but that's just what the roaches got. At the end of the day, spiders will kill you, and mosquitoes be fucking
if
you up.
you get your West Nile, yeah, you fuck around and catch West Nile.
But
too,
not even that. I mean, ain't nobody trying to get ate up either.
Right.
I think definitely mosquitoes are the most annoying.
Yeah, I think mosquitoes
No,
are the
mosquitoes are
biggest
definitely the
pest for sure.
Yeah.
And then the spiders, like you said, the spiders just have the most death potential. They
But
do.
I feel like a spider, like if you see a spider, that whole pretty much gonna leave you alone. As long as you don't fuck with it,
Yeah.
it'll leave you alone.
And most people don't really kill spiders like that. I feel like spiders are my least. And the problem is, like, I mean, I don't know when the last time I saw a roach, but I don't ever want to see one of them hoes again.
No.
I done seen a roach fly before. I done seen a roach.
See, that's a different type of roach, though.
Yeah, that's
That's a
roach that
water
can fly?
bug. A water bug, right? Aren't the
That's
water bugs the
different.
ones that fly and roaches? I'm pretty sure it's water bugs. They look like roaches, but yeah.
I don't know.
both them hoes
I feel
big
like,
as
to be
hell.
honest, if I see either one, I'm trying to kill it on sight.
Yeah, roaches gotta
Especially if
go,
it's
yeah.
inside.
I mean, you got to kill them, I mean.
Right.
Like, you got to kill it. Because you just can't let that wander around.
No, you can't. But it ain't gonna be easy. Okay. And then roaches don't.
I feel like it's harder to kill spiders.
It is harder to kill roaches. Roaches don't die. Roaches,
Nah, I
first
feel
of all,
like if
ain't
you
gonna-
get a good stomp on them,
It depends, man. Some of these
But-
niggas
but
out here
a
built for this.
spider-
They built for this shit.
but a spider will dodge you. You
and
know what I'm
roaches
saying?
gonna be gone so quick. You be like, that roach gonna stick with you. Because if you don't get it and that nigga disappear,
Yeah,
you're
he-
like,
he
that
coming
nigga.
back.
No, and not only is he coming back, but you like, where is
and he coming
this
back
nigga?
with an attitude
Yeah.
also, because
But for your rest of your week, you just gotta be like, where is this nigga? Okay,
Right.
this nigga is somewhere in these walls.
I got to
okay?
find this nigga.
Yeah.
see, spiders, you know when you got them because you
And
hear
they
them,
gonna come
shrivel
out when
up.
you-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hit a
Right.
spider and it's gonna shrivel up immediately. They
And
all do that. But I used to like always play with daddy long legs when I was a kid.
Oh, you know, roaches and spiders too will hold their eggs. So if you mess around and stomp one, like you really aren't supposed to just like stomp, especially now. You're supposed to catch them and either kill them outside or release them outside because
Because
you,
that egg sac, yeah,
egg
it's
sac.
hundreds
And I
of them, right?
And I done had one at a party that a spider that got stepped on in a parking lot, and I'm talking about the baby spiders went every fucking where,
That's
thousands of them. Oh, that shit was, oh my goodness.
I
Still,
think
and
I'd be itching for weeks.
yeah, no, thank God it was outside too. But like, you know, you be messing around. What was that meme talking about? Why black folks the only ones got? Why black folks the only ones got to talk to the bug before they kill it? I told you, I told your motherfucking ass about coming in this house. There be so much animosity, nigga. I mean, when I read it, nigga, what they say, I felt that.
No, I
okay?
felt that.
And
That
I'm
shit hit
talking all the
different.
shit, and even if it's in my head when I'm getting up on you, like
I got to get this
I'm
nigga.
finna get that ass.
Yeah, you thought, nigga.
Yeah,
You picked the right house to come into the
And a
night.
mosquito
nigga.
You know what?
too.
You got to leave their dead body there so the rest of them don't have to come fucking
Yeah,
around. You know what I'm saying? Leave it there for a couple days.
Ooh, and don't let you get a good swat on the mosquito too. Got they ass.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a good
But
pop.
mosquitoes are rude. Sometimes they be blood. Anyway,
Yeah.
mosquitoes. Okay.
You ever
so,
had a mosquito in your room that you just hear buzzing?
Bro.
That is the first worst,
is-
and then it's
I'm
gonna
not gonna
disappear when that
lie.
light come on.
When I hear the bugs flying, I'm the type I want to just lock the door and I need to hunt for this nigga.
Right?
Cause it's gonna
Yeah.
annoy me.
The
Like
hunt.
it's like I feel like I can't just let the door open and let it
Yeah.
leave.
Right.
Cause more flies go come in.
Yeah.
So I gotta go kill him.
Get him, young king.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
he got to go.
Mm-hmm. I
I
feel you like that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either one of us coming out of here.
Right.
You may get me, but I doubt it.
Okay, so y'all want a 1, 2, 3? Y'all just want to say what y'all want to get rid of.
We can 1, 2, 3. You ready?
Wait, hold on.
I don't know.
All right, yeah, I am.
We just saying we could deal with the other ones that we can't.
If we
deal
had
with
to,
this.
yeah.
But it don't mean that everywhere does it.
No.
I mean, you're just surrounded with them all of a sudden. We still see them with the same frequency.
Right, yeah.
But it's one of them. One of them no more.
Hey, I'm ready, yeah.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
One,
Okay, so the one we just can't deal with, right?
the one you can't deal with. You got it, G?
No, I don't. I
You
don't
want-
know. Y'all go first and then.
No, we're going 1, 2, 3, and just say what come to your mind. If you need to change it, you can. Just pick one. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Mosquito.
Roaches.
I didn't even pick. I don't even know. Cause I just feel like
That's a
Mosquito-
that's a technical foul. That's a
Mosquitoes-
technical foul.
mosquitoes annoy me the most. So if I just couldn't deal with them ever again, I
But
would
remember,
be happy.
you're not seeing more roaches just because you didn't get rid
Yeah,
of
that's
them.
what I'm
You're still
thinking.
seeing the roaches over at you, whoever house,
Like-
your little cousin house, whoever. I don't know.
Like I really wouldn't want to see. I think I'm gonna go with mosquitoes.
You getting rid of mosquitoes?
I'm getting
I
rid of
am
mosquitoes.
too because
I'm getting rid of roaches.
Because when mosquitoes around, I'm finna be toe up when I leave that place. First of all, okay, like I'm finna, and I ain't no like we're just rubbing mosquitoes. Like when I get that good itch going, I'm finna scratch the shit out of them hoes.
Right.
Okay.
And the thing, I try to fight it, but when I start, I'll
Yeah,
scratch till
no.
it start bleeding. Like
Yeah, no,
Like on purpose?
not on
because
purpose, but it be feeling
keep
so
itching.
good.
Like you can't, like I can't stop.
Yeah, and the mosquitoes are just. It's just, I mean, and maybe that's a southern thing too, because the mosquitoes just, it's something you know you're always gonna have to deal with. You ain't ever got used to ever.
And I feel like also I've never been bitten by a spider, and I definitely never been bit by a roach.
Right. So they are trying to go on about their business.
Yeah, they kind of minding their own business.
The mosquitoes
even though
are
they
there to
annoy
bother you.
They there to annoy you, and like you ain't doing nothing but living. And they just want to come
Just
bite
sweet,
you.
sweet blood.
And it's never just one bite. If
No,
you get bit by a
no.
mosquito,
They
you
get
gonna
little
have at
green,
least
yeah.
like 10, 20
No,
bites.
and then the
Little
worst
green.
is I don't
They
even
be telling
see-
their cousins too, like, hey, come on,
Yeah.
man, there's some good shit
Right.
over here.
And the worst is coming home and you ain't felt nothing, and you wake up with them 10 mosquito bites on you
Yeah.
and just be like, dang, my ass got. And my mom told me that
Got
one.
lit.
Yeah, just got lit up, okay? And I've been getting bit like that. Like, I mean, when I was little, I used to get told like that with off and everything.
Yeah,
And-
Alf
and
didn't really help
also-
me like that.
I feel like mosquitoes are harder to prevent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They like the lights on the front porch, so they're gonna be
Yeah.
flying around that
like
shit.
it's pretty hard to
And if the
prevent
weather is that
mosquitoes.
way, they're going to be out.
And
Right.
they
I mean-
really bad here in Texas during the summer too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they real bad
Yes.
here. So
Like 4th of July, bro, I literally had like 25 mosquito bites,
I look like
bro.
a Star Crunch. I'm dead serious. But my shit was
Right.
just It was
And then
bad.
with
And
the
I was
roaches-
itching for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, no.
Right.
And with the roaches, it's just cleanliness.
Yeah,
the
I just-
spiders has a lot to do with cleanliness too, like clutter, dust. Spiders
Right.
are gonna be there. So I mean, you can't. But there's a million spiders in your house. They say we swallow like 8 spiders in our lifetime or something like that, just from just having your mouth cocked open and them just being around, just wandering, and they ain't trying to hurt you, but they just they just wander
Yeah.
right on in.
And I
So-
feel like typically, if I ever see a spider, it's always pretty small.
I think
Like
that-
I ain't just came across no hand-sized spider.
I have.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
like a wolf spider. Yeah, no, I have seen. No, I've seen. Yeah, some of the wolf spiders, them niggas be big. But nah, like the thing with roaches is one, like you said, is cleanliness. It's cleanliness. And I just think like I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but they the nastiest to me, and they the most like unappealing to look at. I mean, I don't want to look at no mosquito neither.
That's
I don't
true.
want to look at no spider. What the
But
fuck
you-
is that?
yeah.
Yeah, that shit is just.
But a mosquito, you don't really have to look at. 'em.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You- half
roaches
the
look
time you can't
nasty
see
as
them
fuck.
niggas.
Yeah, you
Like
can't.
roaches just look nasty. You know
They
what I'm
do,
saying?
they
If you
do.
can hear
They're
that, if
definitely
you
the
can hear
most
them little feet,
I don't
like,
know why. I just got a visual off of Men in Black when that
Oh.
dude turned into that big ass roach.
Ugh.
yeah, I don't like shit like that. That shit, yeah. So a roach definitely got to go for me. All right, we're gonna post this poll on Twitter and Instagram and see which one of these nasty ass niggas you have to get rid of. Let us know. And we're going to move over into our last segment of the day, which is black. That's a second.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Paul Nixon black, y'all. All right, let me read y'all the headline. Texas man wanted for divorcing his wife without her knowledge. All right, so Paul Nixon of Harris County, Texas.
He was ready to
is-
Oh,
sign
that
them
nigga from
papers.
Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, you that
Paul
shot.
Nixon of Harris County, that's some Houston ass shit. Anyway, Harris County, Texas is wanted by authorities for divorcing his wife without her knowledge or consent. Authorities say Nixon, 51, allegedly carried out the divorce using forged documents behind her back and is wanted for aggravated perjury and has a no bond warrant out for his arrest. Nixon's wife told investigators in May that Nixon filed for divorce and completed the entire proceedings without her knowledge or consent, and that the court had already completed all hearings and filed the final divorce decree.
This is really funny.
Yeah, he done kicked you to the curb,
I don't know
gang.
why I found out that this happened in Houston made it more funny to me.
Because this nigga is effing tripping, and I'm actually surprised more people haven't done this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess it's because it's a legal paper, but it seems actually odd. This is the first nigga that just done tried this. Okay?
But it can't be that bad, my nigga. Like, what did she do? Shit, like, it can't be that
It might
bad.
be
It
that
ain't that
bad, though.
bleak. I mean,
He didn't sign the papers. Fuck.
and now you going to jail.
Listen,
They gonna catch
he
him,
was
too.
done with her ass, and she wasn't trying to hear it. So the nigga had to get shit done.
Right.
She
done-
could
he
have
done-
pulled one
he
of
done
those.
brought the
No,
paper-
nigga, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
She
Or
could have pulled one of them.
No, or even worse, he put the papers. Yeah, you know we've been talking about this. Here are the papers. No.
That's it, right?
That's it. Don't
yeah.
get you one of
That
those.
nigga
Right.
said, I got something for his ass.
Right. I got something for that. No.
Nothing. Yeah, I got nothing. That's what
Go
no.
back to eating your Frosted Flakes, okay?
Right.
That nigga like, hell no, then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
I
do you
mean-
do if somebody hit you with that? What do you do if you really want to divorce and somebody's like, no?
Right, but what do you do
I
when
mean, what
somebody...
can you do?
Forged the documents like Paul did. Shit, I guess.
Right.
This nigga going to jail, though.
What do you do when you wake up one morning and your ass is divorced and you ain't signed yet?
Right.
You ain't half the bag
This ain't your
gone.
house,
Okay.
nigga. Yeah.
I thought everything was good.
Right.
You got to
I thought we was
evacuate
on
the
up and up.
premises.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Because you burnt that casserole last week, man.
Right.
That was the last
That was
straw.
the- right, yeah.
last straw.
I mean, I think the
Ink
moral of the
was
story is
still
if,
wet before it came out the oven. I knew that shit was gonna be watered down.
look at old Paul. This nigga look like
I don't
he.
even want to see him. You love bringing out the picture too, Paul. And Paul, who in the hell wants you?
Oh, you seen it, yeah. Well, Paul said, nigga, it's, hey.
Well, Paul said that's
Listen, he was
stress,
done.
baby. Right. So Paul
was done with
32.
her ass.
Okay.
Right, nigga
I
look
felt like I
51,
had to get the
nigga's
hell out of this.
27.
Look at me.
Bro,
That's why I did this shit.
I wonder
Look
how
at my
bad
ass.
was the marriage. That's all I wonder. How
Look,
bad
he
was
do
the
look pretty
marriage?
stressed. He do look pretty
I'm
dusty.
finna just Google him real quick.
And
'cause
then
I'm-
that look like them gray right there. You know that gray shade you get from stress. That's what
Yeah.
Obama got after he got out the White House.
Yeah, that's
okay?
definitely stress.
Bless his heart.
Like, what was she doing?
Bless his heart.
And what if she really did think shit was going well? I know she was over there
She didn't
shook.
think
Bro,
shit would go
this-
well. That was
she
a
definitely
damn
got
fool.
blindsided.
I don't know, y'all.
She definitely got blindsided.
But I feel like she done her fair share of blind side.
Cause I feel like, typically when somebody want a divorce,
Both
you
people
know,
want it, right?
you know what I'm saying. Even if you're not the one just like, oh, I want to call it quits. Like y'all been on the rocks,
Right.
You know what I'm saying. You just don't up and just be like, well, fuck this shit, I'm
No.
done. Like,
You do. up
So
and
does
down.
that? I wonder if that means like, because once they file the divorce decree, can you unfile it? So are they still married? I wonder.
I mean,
Because imagine going
at
through all
this
this nigga and
point-
you still married.
at this point, they gotta well just be.
They
gotta be divorced.
Because I was about to say, if she's petty as we think she is, she like, no, nigga,
She
erase that
definitely
shit.
gonna take half.
I put some on your books.
She might as well just divorce him and take half.
Nah,
You
don't
know
put
what
it
I'm
on
saying?
his books neither. That nigga don't deserve
Nigga ain't
it.
got shit. That nigga finna go to
You
jail.
better get in and eat that damn slop.
Right, it's cheaper to keep him. At this point, take my damn name off them papers. She's trying to still love her baby.
She gonna take him back.
Right, I forgive him.
Nah, you can't be that much. You can't forgive a nigga for no shit
Well,
like
shit,
this.
that nigga
Like-
That nigga actually divorced me without my knowledge, but I love him.
That's worse than cheating.
No,
like,
it
That
is
is worse than
that's
cheating.
worse
No.
than cheating.
That's
That
definitely
is
worse
worse
You
than
didn't
cheating.
exit this relationship and we ain't even had no exit interview. What the fuck is going on? Right
Exodus
now?
relationship.
That's definitely worse than cheating.
Damn, yeah. Like, and how much that make you feel? Coochie dry.
Right.
You can't
Casserole
cook.
dry.
Right, right. Just what's wrong?
Hair dry.
Yeah,
Listen,
everything.
everything's dry.
That
This
nigga dry
that nigga
now
just
because
Paul
of you.
dry.
Me.
I mean, he in jail now, girl. He ain't gonna want to leave you, girl. he gonna need a strong-willed
This
woman
was-
on his side.
This was her plan.
Right.
She said, "Oh yeah, I got something for
got
Paul."
that
Ass over
now.
that ass. He gonna need me.
You
Well,
gonna
she
need
did.
somebody
She
to
said,
hold
Paul, I don't
down.
have time. I'm running late for it. Go on and sign that shit for
Right.
me. So he did it, and then she said, nah, she acted like she didn't know, but she knew the whole time. I feel like her name was
Trap.
Bernadette. I don't know, Bernadette
We
Nixon.
need
Or
her
Bernadine.
Bernadine worked better. Bernadine
Bernadine
Nixon.
ain't letting that nigga go. Y'all working it out.
Right.
she gonna
Bernadine
be
don't
for-
believe in
And
divorce.
she gonna be down for you while you in jail too. So just go on, be happy you got a
You
real
know the
one.
first thing he gonna do is rather Bernadine, help me please. Like, you got the Bernadine, nah, nigga.
Nah, right.
You wasn't saying that when you was leaving nobody.
You saying when you was forging signatures.
When you was
When you-
stealing.
right,
Yeah,
when your
that's
ass
what
was
crime you was
stealing signatures. Get your ass to the
Get your ass
bag.
in the trunk.
I'm sorry, nigga. Speak up from the broke bitch section. I can't hear you from the back.
Now, I mean, now, Bernie, you ought to let him have it now. I ain't gonna say don't take him back there, but
Don't take it back.
don't take him back.
I wonder how long. I wonder how
How
long.
can you?
I wonder
How
how
can
long
you go to
get
your
jail.
family
But
and
you
be
know
Niggas
what?
dry.
He finna be the realest nigga in the prison. They gonna be like, "What you in for, nigga?" He gonna be like, "Man, I said fuck that. I left my wife and I ain't
I
say
said,
shit."
they- Fuck that
Left
bitch.
her.
Don't-
He didn't just leave her. He didn't sunshine that nigga. Okay, say he was never coming back. That nigga divorced
You
his
know
own
that
nigga
self.
Wait, and
divorced
think
her
about
ass.
think about the process because they said the decree been followed. So did he divorce her then just go back act like shit was normal for the
Well,
next
what?
couple months till they got the finalized paperwork?
If he's smart, he
Paul.
better try to trick Bernadette to the end. He gonna fuck around, and come up shout.
And get a few more meals out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you get no more meals out of it, but Bernadette's a good luck. If you got to do all that, I would definitely wait till it was clear.
Well, no
Right,
mishaps.
thank you. That's my advice, Mr. Nixon.
Right.
Good luck in there in the clink.
Yeah.
In the
That
clank.
damn slop. I don't know why that was so funny when you said it last week. But anyway.
He should have been. Wish he was there eating now.
All right. All right, y'all. But that is all for our show this week. We want to thank you guys so very much for listening. As always, please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IAMW Podcast. You can now watch the videos on YouTube under the name IAMW Podcast. Listen to the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, or also on Apple Podcasts. IAMW Podcast is the name. Leave us a rating and a review. We appreciate you guys so very much for listening. This is D. Hayes.
Crystal was here.
Same OG.
Peace.